This is the part 1 of the story titled Dedicated to the Village Altar. This is Mr. Mado and his wife Ada. Ada means the first female child in a family, and according to her name, she is actually the first female child in her family married to Mr. Mado. Mr. Mado was ready to go to work, but it was raining heavily. While Mr. Mado was waiting for the rain to subside, he was watching his wife doing something that has no meaning. She was pouring water into a bowl through a sieve. While she was doing that, she was so mean doing it. Mr. Mado could not make anything out of it, so he ignored her and decided to lie back to get some rest while waiting for the rain to subside. He slept off and had a dream. In that dream, he saw a group of women came to his house in the village to give him the last warning. According to the women, that they are giving him the last warning to bring back their Ada back to them, since he has refused to obey the dedication that governs all the Ada of that village. According to the women, every Ada born in that village must assemble in that village every full moon to be part of the ritual of Omoada. After the warning from the women, he woke up from the sleep. When he woke up, anger came upon him from nowhere. He rushed and snatched the cup of water away from the wife and carried the bowl to go and pour away the water. It was when he went outside to pour away the water that he realized that the rain has stopped. And we were meant to understand that after Mr. Mado married Ada and brought her to the city, Ada has been behaving strangely. The following day, we saw Ada seated outside and something strange happened. A woman visited her. The women from Ada's village, they have this witchcraft power that can enable them to appear and disappear, and with that, they can travel as far as they want. The other women gathered and sent out one of them to go to the city to communicate to Ada the importance of coming back home for the ritual. Her visit was a strange one. The woman was still standing there when Mr. Mado came out to talk to Ada. He was talking to Ada, but Ada was not responding. He turned and looked at the direction Ada was looking, but he saw nobody. As this was going on, the woman disappeared. As soon as the woman disappeared, Ada stood up, walking directly to the door, and the husband shifted aside. She moved inside, leaving the husband confused, not knowing what was going on. The worst part of it was that Ada could not say a word to him for him to understand what was happening to her. Would I say that it is only in Africa? Maybe or maybe not. I know that marriage is beyond what ordinary eyes can see. A lot of men are in this same condition Mado found himself today, but let's continue. The next thing we saw, Ada came outside the house with her bag going away, but the husband could not let her walk away. He had to go after her. He collected her bag from her and sent it inside. But before he could come outside the house, Ada has walked away. He searched everywhere but could not find her. Then he rushed outside the compound looking for her. Within a short time, we saw Mr. Mado and Ada coming into the compound. Looking at Ada, everything about her has changed completely. It seems that every day her situation keeps getting worse. Thank God that Mr. Mado found her and brought her back home. In the dream, Mr. Mado saw the same woman that appears to Ada all the time, taking her away. The woman was walking while Ada was walking behind her. The next person we saw was Mr. Mado. He rushed to stop Ada from behind and took her away. After that dream, Mr. Mado woke up and found Ada arranging her clothes inside a bag, like someone who wants to travel. He stopped her from packing her belongings and pushed the bag aside. After that, he carried her in his arms, consoling her because it was so obvious to him that what she has been passing through was not ordinary and she has no control over those things. The next day, we saw Ada outside seated and she was totally in tears. When Mr. Mado came out, he was shocked to see Ada in tears. He quickly walked towards her and held her in consolation, asking her to talk to him to tell him what happened. It was as if something left Ada. She started talking and was explaining to her husband, Mr. Mado, what has been happening to her. She started by telling Mr. Mado, her husband, what happened to her some days ago. She was standing on the clothesline arranging clothes when that same woman appeared to her and transferred some forces, some powers into her. She did that through her eyes, and since then everything about her changed. She told the husband that she was responsible for the rainfall that fell the day he was waiting for the rain to stop. She did that through the power that was given to her, that when she was pouring the water into the bowl through a sieve, it was actually reflecting the rain outside. She told Mr. Madu that she has never been herself after that woman visited, and pleaded with him to help her, that the woman has been calling her to come back to the village, that she hears the voice of the woman every day and every night, calling her to come back to the village for the ritual of Umada. Mr. Madu, being totally confused about the whole situation, held his wife Ada close to his chest, thinking about what to do, whether to send the wife to the village to join the ritual or to ignore the call. We can see that Ada is totally helpless, and everything lies on Mr. Madu. Decision lies on Mr. Madu to take. Now, what do we advise Mr. Madu to do in this situation? To send Ada to the village to join the ritual, or what do we advise him to do in this situation? At a point, they decided to travel to the village when the challenge was too much for them. Immediately they entered the village. The first person they met was the woman that was tormenting her in the city. When they met this woman face to face, they exchanged greetings, but that greeting was not friendly. It was mockery in disguise from the side of the woman to them. After the greetings, when the woman was about to walk away, she turned and looked at them in an unfriendly manner, which got Madu and Ada worried. After the look, the woman walked away. Ada and Madu stood there worried. Then the next thing, Madu wanted Ada to follow him down to the village, but Ada refused and asked him that they should go back to the city. Without much conviction owing to what happened, Madu accepted and they walked back to the city. Immediately they got back to the city, Ada fell sick, seriously sick, that Madu had to start cooling her temperature before the doctor will arrive. Nothing like this has ever happened to Ada. Looking at Madu, he has really got tired of the whole thing called marriage. He stood there looking discouraged, not knowing what to do. When the doctor arrived, he took his time to explain to Madu all his discovery and made him to understand that everything will be fine soon. After that explanation, the doctor stood up and took his leave. The following day, when the doctor came, after giving treatment to Ada, he called Madu by the side to talk to him. He told him that he has not seen any serious case in Ada's life that will warrant her to be lying down the way she was lying down, and encouraged him to continue in prayer, and suggested for him to go and meet a man that will counsel him and change his mindset towards prayer so that he will be able to pray and get out of this situation. When he mentioned the name of the man, Madu turned and looked at him and told him that the man he just mentioned his name is late. The doctor said he is aware that the man is late. Then Madu asked him how was he going to meet a man who has died. He told him to go and get his book, that in reading what someone wrote down, put down on paper, is like meeting the person one-on-one. It's like reading the mind of that person. That reading the book from the man is like communicating with the man. He urged him to go ahead and get the book and read. That in reading that book, a lot of things will change in his life and family through prayers. Mr. Madu obeyed the doctor's instruction. He got the book and started reading. He spent the whole day going through the book. His hunger to get something from the book made him not to eat anything from morning till evening. He was going through the book till evening time. He fell asleep, and in his sleep he was having dream. Then in that dream, a man came to him. It was actually the author of that book. Maybe because of the conception of his mind, owing to what the doctor said, that reading a book from somebody is like meeting the person one-on-one or reading the mind of that person. In that dream, he was having a detailed detailed explanation of what prayer is all about from the man, how to pray the right prayer. The book made him to understand that some people can actually be complaining and think that they are praying, and they blame God for not answering their prayers. A lot of things from that book was explained to him by the man in his dream, and the next thing, he woke up. This is what they say, that the Savior has come to your doorstep. This book and this revelation, they are the beginning of liberation in the life of Mado and his wife Ada in their marriage. It is so obvious that Mado has caught the spirit of prayer from this book, directly from the author, and he has decided to rewrite the story of his marriage. He has decided to change the handwriting of ordinances written against him and his wife in their marriage. We saw Mado in another dimension. As his prayer tempo and the spirit increased, he saw a revelation immediately. He was taken to the village of his wife Ada. As the revelation was going on, instructions were coming on the prayer point, instructions were coming on the things he has to mention, on the declarations he has to declare, on everything he has to know about the family, about the foundation, about the ritual of Umada. Instructions were coming instantly on what to pray about, and that was a great help to him, for him not to pray amiss. His prayer was directional and revelational. As the prayer was ongoing in his room, something happened. The usual woman appeared. When she disappeared, the spirit she injected inside Ada left Ada immediately, and she screamed on top of her voice. When she screamed, the husband rushed to hold her immediately and started praying for her. Without being told, this is a great turnaround in the life of Mado and his wife Ada, who said that prayer doesn't work. I want you to know that prayer can never cease to be the key, not just the key, but the master key. Listen, if you are planning for marriage and the prayer life is not included in that your plan, please, I want you to revisit your plans and include prayers in your plan. Even if you have established marriage already, add prayer in every plan you have in that marriage for a great turnaround. Don't be deceived when you are told that prayer doesn't work, because I know and I am a living testimony that prayer can change a lot of things. The fervent prayer of a righteous person availeth much. Pray without ceasing, because men ought to pray and not to faint. We cannot stop making videos to change situations in our lives and families. Please join us to change life and families by sharing this video. Share this video so that someone somewhere will be liberated from the bondage through prayers. Thank you so much, and don't forget, this is House of the Sons Global. Bye for now.